afternoon, everyone. Welcome back for our next developer AMA. It's been a few weeks for this one, but yeah, a lot going on that definitely felt like it was time to catch up with everyone and give everyone a bit of an update.
How are you guys doing?
Good, thank you.
Good. Just posting the links everywhere.
Yeah, glad to be here.
So, if everything's gone to plan, people should be able to watch on YouTube, Twitch, or Twitter. Hopefully.
Cool. Yeah, we got a lot going on. Lot going on. Ecosystem wide. Really crazy.
Yeah, I mean, there's a reason we called it March Madness. March feels like it's just going to be the most ridiculous month we've ever had. So, yeah.
Man, the lighting is driving me absolutely crazy.
You look all right. You're just purple.
I'm purple, right? Like it's just it's Raini Studios. I have the Raini Studios backlighting here. It's all intentional, everybody.
You'll have to go film in your brand new truck.
Yeah, I did get a new truck today.
Yeah, nice.
Let me put it this way. I've been a CEO, like, you know, honestly, calling yourself a CEO, I've always thinks it's kind of a pretentious because it's just bullshit. I start a company, call myself the CEO, and then like I'm the only employee half the time. You know, like it's kind of pretentious to be the CEO of one. So anyway, I've been a CEO, but for real, like of pretty large companies for like a decade, like at that level. And this was the first. I'm 44, and this was the first new vehicle I've ever purchased. So I was pretty. This is a pretty cool day. I am in my grow room. Oh, Draz said that. He knows. How do I shut off? How do I shut off the background? I want to do it. The fuck do I do it?
Settings.
Any idea?
Settings background down the bottom.
Settings
virtual background.
Virtual background. Okay, here we go, everybody. None. You're gonna see where Alex Moody's, where the magic happens. I do have an office, okay, a real office, but this is the grow room. Okay, let's see how far this will extend.
They are tomatoes, everybody.
It's not tomato season yet.
No, I was joking.
This is the tower where I grow all the lettuce and shit. Over here, I don't know if you can see, these are all herbs and spices. Yeah. We've got some flowers going, some medicinal herbs over here. Everything, like even stinging nettle, borage, like anything you can think of from a medicinal or alchemist standpoint. We grow it all, and it all starts down here. So Let me get my background, but anyway, the Beaver King is a real live gardener as well, farmer.
Yeah, and be apiarist.
Yeah, I am a beekeeper as well. My bees are kicking ass this spring, by the way. They're going crazy. I opened them up this weekend, and they were swarming like wild. Like there was I don't wear any gear half the time. It is especially early season. They're not as hostile. So I had like 10 or 12 bees like landing and hanging out on my face. It always gets a little interesting, but they're wicked docile.
Yeah.
Draz, your background is pretty sick, man. I like that.
Yeah, it's a good one, isn't it? The three Holy Trinity.
How do you get it so stable? Marty's and I's like.
I'll show you actually. Same deal. I made just a hang on a sec. Just turn it off for a sec if I can. None. It's just a homemade green screen.
Oh, you've actually got a green screen, yeah. Yeah.
Just made out of just cloth and a couple pieces of wood. Did you see that?
I got to do that. Yeah. I need to do that. And I need to get some studio cams or something to light my face. So my beautiful complexion can be so much more visible down here in the grow room.
That's right.
All right. Let's get on with the show.
How do I delete like spam shit? Hang on. You know things are going well when we start getting spammed when we jump on to do an AMA.
I know. So. I noticed that too. There's so many scammers hitting the Raini community all the time. You know, RST is doing well. It's like instant. Like that's how you know. It's like the tokens doing really well.
Probably really good to put this here, just at the top of the mention this at the very top. Hang on, I got to pause it. I'm hearing myself like 3 times now, so I'm trying to mute people. Yeah, if you do need any support, if you do want to chat with the team for any reason, if you on Telegram, you type /ticket. It will direct you to our Discord where you can create a support ticket where you chat directly with the mod team and the actual team ourselves. We never DM you. There's no magical airdrops. There's no other Discords, no other Telegrams. Just be very careful, be very safe out there. But yeah, anything like that, just how do I delete a message on?
Yeah, and also, I mean, another important point on that is like we will always. This is seeding ecosystem wide. There's not going to be any surprise mints. There's not going to be go rush and click this link and you have 5 seconds to do whatever. That's never going to be the case. You will know there will be official channels. There's an official links list in every Discord server anywhere. When in doubt, go back to the original. Go back to the original Discord, go back to the Telegram and click the official link to get to wherever you're supposed to be. Don't just go to somebody posts rtlol.com. Don't just click on that. It could be fake. It could have weird keys in it and take you to a private key stealing. It's going to get real bad, guys. I mean, Raini Studio, I'm going to drop some knowledge right here. Raini Studios is going to be the #1 Web3 gaming studio on the planet. It's going to happen. I mean, I think it's really clear. Nobody's doing what we're doing. Nobody's delivering on the level that we're doing. People are lucky if they even have a game on the market. Most don't. We do. The game is great. Our user numbers are through the roof. The token's doing really well. We're giving away more money than anybody else. We have tournaments happening multiple times a month, as we're going to talk about tonight. So what does that mean? That means they are going to come for you and they are going to come for us left and right because we're going to be popular and it will be a profitable endeavor. And I don't want to see people in our community getting their cards stolen, their tokens stolen. If the deal is too good to be true, it is. Like, there's no free money. Well, if you play the game, there is free money. But we airdrop it to you. If somebody's in your DMs telling you they have some sweet deal for you, we're not going to DM you and give you any shit. So I hate to see people fall for it, but it will happen. But protect yourself and expect it. Expect that anybody you're talking to is scamming you. So anyway, that's enough of that. But let's get into it.
Yeah, always good just to get that sort of warning out there. Also be careful in like Telegram because people will make fake accounts that look like team members, and they'll wait until we're like mid conversation and they'll try and sneak something in. Just always be super vigilant. If you ever want to be 100% certain that you are chatting to a team member, support tickets on Discord is the way to go.
Yeah, absolutely.
Gentlemen, how do you want to do this? Do you want to just fire up some questions, or we'll go and we'll just? I'm sure as we go through the questions, we're going to come across all the big topics of everything we've announced in the last few days. So you're muted, Draz.
You're muted, Ray.
Sorry, guys. I'll just run through them as I sort of came through in the chats and things, if you like. And like I say, that it's going to break into all the areas I think you need to go to. So just the first one, I suppose, from Sleck. He said, during March there'll be 4 play sessions, each going for 6 hours. He's asking, do we know when those sessions will be? But it's obviously on the graphic. But can you just explain a bit more about the March Madness event? And while you're on it as well, just one other question from that was the cards that you play with in that session. They're just the ones that you have currently unlocked or owned. It's not an open session or anything like that. If you just explain a bit more about March Madness.
Let me give a little high level context here on this tournament, and then Marty can dive into the specifics of the actual gameplay sessions and how they're going to work. This was originally designed to be the GDC tournament, guys. So we're going to talk about that in a little bit, but we're headed to GDC the week of the 21st. So Marty will be there from the weekend through the weekend. I land on the 20th, and a lot of the seeding team, there's 6, 7, 8 of us on site. We have a professional camera crew that will be recording. We're going to be in the Avalanche booth in the Beam section. We have showcase times, 2 showcase times on the floor that are dedicated just to RT in that with the PlayStation, or not PlayStations, but a station with which people can play our game. And so what we wanted to do is we wanted to make more of a spectacle of it. So we built this tournament with a huge prize pool that with rules that anyone can earn in. So if you can lose, literally you can lose every game owning no collectible cards, playing with like a theme deck, and you can earn a significant share of the pool. And what this was designed to do is to make us have really, really, really exciting, high user concurrent user numbers during the GDC play session, so that we have really good matchmaking, instantaneous queues, and so forth, and just to have a really cool experience for people at the show floor to participate in a tournament. At the same time, they're also participating in our global community. So that was the March Madness tournament was really created as a GDC tournament, but we extended it to the week before the play sessions on the 12th and the 13th, because we really also wanted to extend the global time zones, so that it's not the two play sessions of 3 and 4 are built around the times that we're on the play floor in GDC. So we added the previous week's time sessions as well, so that players in the other time zones could have now, granted, you can stay up all night. We don't care that. You're welcome to do that. Encouraged to do that even if you want.
I mean,
but
there's 50,000 reasons why you might want to stay up all night.
Right. But this makes it more fair for the people that don't have that opportunity, that there are play sessions that will be available in their time zone. And it gives us a nice load testing. We haven't done something like this before as a company. So it gives us a nice load testing event a week prior to GD. You see that the grow lights just went off. So it gives you that experience. It gives us the load testing the week before, so that we don't have like overload the servers and nuke them, while GDC is being displayed. So that's the kind of high level about why we were doing it. We wanted an approachable event. We also, guys, have spent a lot of time and effort communicating with guilds, Web3 gaming guilds, around this particular event, because let's be honest, it's a little bit difficult to understand our play and earn mechanics as they stand. If you're a new person, like how do I earn? When do I earn? Like, that's why we're building out that RST questing system in the game, and that'll come in a few months. But for the meantime, this is really straightforward. Play during these times. Win or lose doesn't, it's better if you win, but it's still, you still win if you lose. And just something really simple, and that's what this is. So, Marty, do you want to jump into the specifics on the nuts and bolts of it?
Yeah, for sure. So all the details are in the latest medium, which you'll find spammed all over Telegram, Discord, Twitter, stuff like that. I'll probably drop a link for it actually in chat right now as well for everyone watching on YouTube and Twitch. So in a nutshell, it is literally the easiest way we could think of to run a promotion like this. So to answer the specific question you had, Draz, like what cards do you use? You'll just be playing quick matches. So that's basically either theme decks, soulbound cards, collectible cards. The actual deck that you choose to play with for this promotion doesn't matter. So, like, for example, if you just finish the tutorial, unlock the 2 free theme decks, you could jump straight into quick matches and start earning points towards March Madness without anything else. So you don't need to spend any money on locks, you don't spend any coins, you don't have to buy any collectibles, just the easiest way to get in and play the game. For every game that you play that's within those time blocks, you'll get 1 point for playing, and I think it was 5 bonus points.
5, yeah. Win a game, 5 points.
Yeah, play a game, 1 point, win a game, 5 points. So, over 6 hours, I mean, we can ask George how many games you can fit into 24 hours total. And then basically we'll divide the $50,000 prize pool in RST amongst everyone based on how many points they accumulated over the month, and we'll airdrop that out. Probably, I would say, given the fact that we'll be like flying back from GDC and stuff like that, we'll probably aim to do the airdrop probably late March, early April. I would say. So
all 4 events, the points combined for that, and then they come out of the 50,000. Nothing individual as such for each event. It's not split. Yeah. So there's no. So again, we tried to spread them out across different time zones as much as we could. We didn't want to disadvantage players who maybe aren't available to play some of these.
So yeah, basically, if you can only play 1 or 2 sessions, great. If you can only play half an hour in one of the sessions, I would still recommend jumping in for a game or two, because it's a pretty stupid prize pool. And keep in mind as well, if you are grinding, say, play and earn rewards and stuff like that, these are quick matches, so these will count towards play and earn.
You get to double
They
dip.
are, yeah, and because they're quick matches, that means you'll be ranking on our seasonal leaderboard, which as of this month will now be paying out the top 1,000 players. So we've been talking about the.
And Marty, it not only pays out the 1,000, but play and earn also pays out people who don't have collectible cards. So literally, if you're brand new to RT LOL and you've literally never played a quick match, you just finished the tutorial 5 minutes ago, and you log into your first game with the theme deck you just bought. There is somebody, Draz, is it you that has the background music sound? Somebody's got like.
I think you got typing noise, I think, Draz.
Sorry, guys.
Yeah, there's some distortion. If you've never played a game, you have no collectible cards, you've got nothing. You log in during these times. You play. You lose your every match with the theme decks you just got. You don't know what you're doing. You're literally earning. In the $50,000 prize pool, you're earning. You have a chance of getting on the leaderboard because it's top 1,000, and you're earning on play and earn for the month. So you're not going to get any collect and earn. I mean, you got to get cards for that. You're probably not going to get a ton of play and earn because most of the bonus is tied up in collectible cards. But you still have the potential to earn a significant amount.
While you're on that, the new change, obviously, in the latest medium with regard to soulbound cards now earn basically 1/10 of whatever the NFTs do. I know, obviously, but what's the driving force behind that with regard to the ecosystem and things like that, bringing new people in? It's obvious, I suppose, but can you elaborate why you sort of went down that path and how you think that's really going to boost numbers and things like that?
Yeah. So, I mean, here's the thing. You have to you can't have a reward system. If you have a free to play game, it needs to be free to play. And there has to be the opportunity for someone to come in and have it easily approachable. Like if I join a game and it tells me that this $250,000, we sent out $250,000 to players yesterday or the day before. Right. And I've been playing for like 2 weeks, let's say, and I don't get anything. And I'm like, what the fuck? I played, I played for like 2 weeks. I played every day and I got $0. This is fucking bullshit. What about me? Right. So you have to have tiers of engagement. There have to be levels or plateaus of engagement. So if I start in the driving, engagement or stickiness, is these reward cycles, right? I want to give them something. I want to give a new player something. Now they shouldn't earn the same as George, who has, a goated deck and plays fucking 18 hours a day. They shouldn't win the same. It should not be equal, but they should earn something. And then that gives them a platform, a free to play platform where they can grind the battle pass for free. They can grind the monthly rewards. They can take those rewards and roll them into packs, roll them into secondary market collectible purchases, and become a more competitive earner and a more competitive player and work their way up all the rankings. So if we bring in a new player and we make the game approachable to them and we make the reward structures easy to understand for them, then they'll stay. And we know from our statistics and from our data that when they stay, they don't just stay free to play. They go buy collectible cards. They want to play more. They want to get more engaged in the ecosystem. They buy packs. And so what does that do? That drives up pack prices. It drives up player numbers. It drives up the price of RST. So we know for a fact, we have the statistics that show if we make the game approachable to more people, then more people will play. And when more people play, number go up for everybody across the board. So yeah, you know what it does? It dilutes you a little bit because there's more people sharing in the rewards. Instead of 60 people, it's 1,000. But if you look, the numbers for the top players, it's not that different. It's not like the numbers go down that much. You're giving up a little, right? You're giving up a little at the top of the ladder. so that way more people can be on the ladder. And all of those people at the bottom want to be at the top. So you still want the top players. I know, I hear it. I hear the feedback. And guys, I pay attention to the chats. Believe me, I read them religiously. I see almost everything you type. And I know there's people that say, oh, the distribution in 1 through 10 is too high. We should be pushing more down to the lower tiers. But here's the flip side of that coin. You have to have the opportunity for big numbers in a reward structure pool like this. Otherwise, why grind? You know, if everybody only gets $50 or everybody only gets 100, including guys at the top, what's there to strive for? You need someone like George pulling in $14,000 this month, because that could be you. You have the same opportunity George has, and so do the other million people we want to explain that to. In when we go out and we market to them and say, there's players making 10 grand a month playing this game. You could too. The opportunity is available to you. George doesn't have that much of an advantage over anybody else. You know, those cards are, he doesn't even have as good of a collection as Shrek does. And Shrek didn't have cards a month ago.
We love George, but he's not a great player. I love you, man, but like he only had like a 60% win rate. Yeah.
Right. He's a good player and he has a great deck, but he doesn't have the best deck. He doesn't have the best collection. He doesn't have the best win rate. You can do it too. The only thing stopping you from getting George's money numbers is your commitment level, right? So we have to create the message. We have to create the structure that gives an introductory level to the game, which didn't exist before. And then when that's there, and everybody can earn, everybody can play, everybody can win just by showing up, then everybody wants to strive up the ladder. And what happens? The top tiers become more competitive. It takes more effort. It takes the first place player should have to work really hard, and they should get paid for doing so. Just like on, you know, a Hearthstone leaderboard or, you know, competitive play in like a professional tournament or anything like that. Guys, if you're playing this game and you're taking home money at the end of the month, you are a professional esports player. I mean, it literally, this is an esports league, and you are professional gamers. So it should be competitive at the top.
I mean, I just noticed a fantastic amount of tweets on X coming through from a bunch of people in the ecosystem about the rewards they got. And there's, you know, some fairly significant for a lot of people, you know, $800, $1,300, $2,000. Obviously, George is the top of the ladder.
I think it was Ariverse who said he was on vacation, and the rewards came through, and it was more money than his whole vacation with his family. It came through for the month, for playing the game. You're playing a game for a month, and you're paying for your entire family vacation. Again, these are not. You're not playing against like a phase, you know, the phase clan or whatever. This is just regular people that play, that like a game and are committed to it, and it's accessible to everyone. It really is. The only thing what was it? How many people, Marty? I don't know if this past month was the same, but how many people were in the top 20 that were playing theme decks?
There was a couple. I think second or third was primarily grinding, and it wasn't the pink theme deck either. It was grinding a different one. I won't say which one it was, but it wasn't the pink one, which everyone assumed, like the vocal minority were saying was the most overpowered deck.
Right. It's in like red. It's the like overwhelmed deck, right?
Red's up there, blue's up there. The Zeus deck is right up there at the moment. Yeah.
But the point is, you can legitimately grind with a theme deck and be in the top 20, top 10, even like top 5 probably on the leaderboard. Clean up in numbers, making thousands of dollars a month with a theme deck that you got for free after a 20-minute tutorial. The only thing stopping that is skill. I mean, at the end of the day, that's a skill issue, right? So yes, do all the cards help? Trust me, I play with a theme deck, and I win like probably 30% of the time because I'll be crushing somebody. They'll come out with like a Chad Rainey or like a Elon and just fucking wipe me. But I still also have a pretty good win rate with a free deck.
The cool thing is as well, you look at like even the leaderboard rewards here. Like if you came, even in the top, say 500, you could easily take that, jump straight onto the RST storefront, buy yourself a nice little bag of Lux, unlock a heap of bundles, unlock the Lux tier of the Battle Pass. Like, this is a really great way where you could get into the game as a completely free-to-play player, and then the rewards that you get every month, reinvest it either through the RST storefront on packs, Lux, Battle Pass, things like that, or take it straight across the Sphere, grab some actual collectible cards. So if you do it that way through collectibles, not only are you expanding your collection of cards you have available to play with, but then you start earning collect and earn rewards on top of what you'd already be getting for leaderboard and play and earn.
Yeah,
So you're double dipping.
And you want to know the best part about this? So a lot of players will go, right, it kind of sucks that we're diluting the rewards because we're onboarding, we're attracting a lot more players. Everyone saw it this month. Most of the people saw declines in the total number of tokens that they got because more people got rewarded, and that's going to get even worse this month, right? So it's like bad, right? So many people, right? But except all those people are spending in the RST storefront, which you guys get a share of now through the tokenomics. So the more people that come in to try to compete for these rewards drives more tokens back to the player pool, which you get cycled back to you. It was almost $40,000 this month got paid out to the player base from the storefront. 40 G's.
That's brilliant tokenomics, Alex. Congratulations on that, mate. You've done a great job.
And I want to point out something else. We gave you guys $40,000 of the storefront. So do the math. If that's 10%, think about how profitable Raini Studios is right now. Think about how successful this game has become. So I would question, are there any other game out there in Web3 that's as successful as Raini Studios is now? Is it the top game in Web3? When you start to do, the numbers are right there. It's all on chain. So if you think about it, we're creating something that's going to continue to grow and escalate at an extraordinarily rapid pace. Marty, what were we? We were up DAUs 30% today. Concurrent daily active users was up 30% today.
Pretty much. We track daily active. We track so many different metrics all across the back end. But daily actives specifically, since the rewards went out like yesterday or the day before, and obviously all the March Madness stuff we've been announcing, then we've had like a 30% increase in daily actives.
Actually, it's like 30 or 40%. But either way, it's like we more players, more activity, more spending in the store, more revenue back to you guys. It's all built a certain way to just continually escalate the positive feedback loop. And then the other thing is I see a comment from Kieran in the chat. There's always people for you to play against now. So the difference is we've created this energy. We've created this cycle of rewards and positive feedback loop within the community. And then it drives more players, and more players drives better matchmaking. Like we talked about, the last AMA was all about, guys, I can't wait to bring you more players because it will improve matchmaking and it will improve, people saying they're getting crushed by the best players and like they don't, it's not accessible to new players because I join and then, Cryptic Witcher just fucking steamrolls me and, I lose every game. All that's fixed with more players, which we've delivered, and we haven't even scratched the surface. This is not a win for us from our standpoint. We've fixed these problems in just a month, and we haven't even started the user acquisition mechanics that we've outlined and mapped to solve these problems. So when you look at this, it's a snowball effect. It just continues to escalate and get better and better and better, and that's not going to stop. Not this month, and it's not going to stop this year.
I mean, we always, like, I post every now and then in Telegram, I post like some graphs that show percentage changes of player numbers. And honestly, we're happy to post those without specific numbers. And I know people ask like, oh, why won't you share like the exact number of players you have? And honestly, because when you're winning, you don't care. Like the only people that actually care about that specific number is the guy in second place. But also, like, I had to send an email this morning to one of our back-end service providers that helps us with game servers and stuff like that, because we're moving to an enterprise tier. We've moved beyond what they actually support on all their standard plans. So we're actually having to go to a custom plan with custom server allocations all around the world with redundancy and stuff like that. Literally because we've got so many I don't want to give specific numbers. the
A
number
lot
of servers,
now.
the number of servers running right now, is a lot. Like, I kind of want to say the number. Yeah.
Well,
Anyway,
anyway, it's fun. So
like,
we're not going to give
yeah.
away our player numbers, but we've done it. We've executed, and we continue to execute. And the thing is like, legitimately, we haven't released mobile, we haven't implemented the RST quest line, and we haven't started the marketing campaign in SIA. Like, it's just beyond our expectations of our ability to deliver, just because of the, it really, honestly, it's one, the team continues to execute. Marty and the team continue to execute a quality game. The game is good. Every single person who plays it goes, wow, this is actually good. Like that's literally what everybody goes, oh, fine, Alex, I'll try it, like in the comments, right? And then they come back to me like, hey, did you know this game's actually good? Like, yeah, that no shit. So it's a good game. People get addicted instantly. And the second piece is that the tokenomics create a positive feedback loop. That you have to have a game with good fundamental tokenomics, and it creates a positive feedback loop. You're having fun playing. You get paid to play. It motivates you to play more. You're having fun playing more. You're getting paid to play more. You're having fun to play. Then you get in, like, a George situation where you're like, what's the fucking point of working? I have fun playing the game, and I make more, 10 times more than I'd make if I worked. So it's like, what a fucking world, right? I wish I had RTL when I was 20.
And we're just getting started. That's the craziest thing. Like, there is so many cards, so many sets, so many, updates that we've got planned for literally for like 12 months, 24 months. Like, our roadmap is better than it's ever been. And as Alex said, like, the team continues to execute. We're continuing to add new features, push new updates. I think last week we did like 3 updates in the week. And I mean, we're hiring at the moment. If there are any senior or lead level Unity developers in the Australian time zone interested, please reach out to me. We'll have a conversation. We're actively trying to, in a time where, unfortunately, the game industry is going through incredible turmoil. Tens of thousands of game developers are out of work right now. There's massive layoffs across literally every studio you can name. We're going in the exact opposite direction. We are actively hiring. We are actively expanding the team. We are actively spinning up more servers, more back-end infrastructure. Alex's credit card's copping a beating, but that's your problem, not mine. Like, it's a very exciting time to be involved in RTL.
Yeah, we actually, the team grew last week or the week before. A couple weeks ago, we added the lead designer to Raini Studios, which was super cool.
Yeah, so that's actually Meepo just literally asked that question.
Yeah,
so
he's not. He's graduated.
Yep. So yeah, the designer that we brought on board actually helped us out back when we did formations. He will now be looking after all of the high-level set design moving forward. I'll still be very involved in that. You can't keep me away from that, basically. But yeah, having someone who's just dedicated role is looking at new cards, new sets, new mechanics, gameplay balancing, making sure we've got a nice varied meta where aggro, control, combo decks, mid-range are all equally taken care of. And even with some of the recent promo cards, you're already starting to see the influence of some of his work. So yeah.
Yeah, the structure. So the structure of Raini Studios, Marty used to be the lead designer, but he's really more of a studio lead role. Like he runs the studio, and that we just made sure to acknowledge that when we took over to move him into that like top of the pyramid role. And so with the advent of 2 more games in Raini Studios development cycle, Lucha Throwdown, which we will talk about, I'm sure, in a minute. And then game number 3, which is in pre-production. So we don't have a ton of ongoing daily activity there. That's more of our subcontractors and Ricardo Tabone from Game Maker, and he's handling all the pre-production design work. But with all that, so with Lucha Throwdown, Dorian Richard from Game Maker is lead designing that. So Marty's constantly interfacing with Dorian on design. And then Brett's now it's Brett, right? He's taking over design for RT Law, and Marty's constantly interfacing with that. So Marty kind of runs a team of lead designers who are lead designing multiple games. So Raini Studios is more than one lead designer now. And then of course, consulting with Marty on that, all overarching all that is Mike Haller, our seed and head of gaming. It's grown. Rainy Studios has grown a lot. There's a lot of people working, and then on top of that, so we have an incredible art team in-house at Rainy Studios. You guys probably very well know, like Johnny, and then all of our Unity developers who are incredible. But we also now have a studio in Guadalajara that's working large amounts of effort for us, particularly on Lucha Throwdown, doing art. So there's an entire another team at Demente who's working and interfacing with Marty and Dorian and Mike on a regular basis for card design, art, digital design, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. So things are like crazy, crazy right now.
I mean, I know the team in Guadalajara, they're actively hiring because we're already we're still in like early stages of production for Lucha Throwdown, and we're throwing more work at them than what they were anticipating. So they're actively recruiting over on that side as well, and bringing on like production, like staff and those sort of things. And I know, I'm sure Mike's mentioned it on one of the public facing videos we've done. I think it was the interviews that we did the other week. That studio is also working with 5 of the universities in Guadalajara to basically help them cater their game development and game design courses to specifically what they want to be recruiting when people are graduating. Mm-hmm. So again, we're not just thinking short term here. Like, they're looking at the next 5-10 years. Like, how are they going to have hundreds or thousands of team members ready to go as we keep ramping up the things that we're doing on this side as well? So
we get to hang out with Carlos, the CEO of Demente, at GDC in San Fran in a couple weeks, and so that relationship is more than just like a contractor relationship. We're actually developing a partnership with this studio, and Rainy Studios will build out development and not just art resources, which is what we're using now, but there will be also development resources so that we can scale our game development on a global level. With multiple teams operating, because you can't run, you can run Rainy Studios and Lords of Light with the team we have now. But once we have Lucha Throwdown live, once we have Game 3 live, and then Game 3 has both Lucha Throwdown and Game 3 have high sequel. They were designed to be highly sequelable. And so the Game 2 is also Game 4 and 6 and 9, and Game 3 is also Game 5 and 7 and 10. So it's going to escalate, and it's going to escalate very rapidly because, one, Rainy Studios is really profitable. It's a great game and it's a great ecosystem and it's doing really well. And two, we just have an unparalleled team. I mean, quite frankly, we acquired an unparalleled team, and Seedon brings an unparalleled team to the mix. So you combine those two, and it's like been lightning in a bottle. The shit we're so much more happy with this acquisition now than we were the day we acquired it. We couldn't have anticipated how well things would work out, how well we would, like, how great Marty would be, how great the team would be. We knew they'd be good, but like, we definitely like merged in a way that has created more than we could have hoped, I think, from any of us. We should probably answer some more questions. This is just us.
This is going to be a long AMA.
Yeah, the chatting is sort of getting through them, I suppose. But while you're on Lucha Throwdown, my understanding is that at GDC there's going to be some gameplay footage released.
Okay.
Are we at?
I need to. I'm gonna walk back.
You can take this. You can take this one, Alex.
Yeah. I'm gonna take the hangman's noose on this one. So I'm very high level. Okay. At there are parts of Rainy Studios I'm very in the weeds with. Community level stuff like tokenomics. Running the mod team and like interfacing with Marty on the day-to-day and like marketing and everything else. Running the business, I'm highly involved in. Making the games, I have almost nothing to do with. In fact, I have yet to. So we were in a meeting. And somebody's like, "Oh my God, have you seen the?" I'm going to drop alpha here. "Oh my God, have you seen the comic?" And I was like, "It's so good." And I'm like, "What the fuck are we talking about?" And so I'm not going to say any more about it. But there's like an entire thing that happened at the company. Everybody else apparently is. People are showing their kids and shit, and I have no idea what it even is. So like I am not in the weeds with the game, with the specifics of the individual game, particularly Lucha Throwdown. So I was under the impression we were going to be having a full gameplay trailer and everything else. Fucking A. This is not, I'm not going to live this down. I see Lito already cat locks over there. So
I can ban him if you want. Just let me know.
So we are bringing concept art. Like there'll be concept art. There'll be like this game style and things like that revealed at GDC. The actual game itself is not going to be released at GDC. So I just kind of want to walk that me sticking my foot in a pile of shit in my mouth on that one. I'll take the blame for that one. But yeah, you guys will you'll know what the gameplay is. You'll understand. It's going to be a big aha moment for the community, I think, when you realize what kind of game Lucha Throwdown really is. And I think people are going to be, particularly people that have been around Raini Studios for a while, are going to be fucking excited.
One of the questions just on Lucha Throwdown was, where is he? Over here. Basically, RST is not integrated into Lucha Throwdown. At the moment it's just Web 2 style, not Web 3 in its initial release. But how does Lucha Throwdown help RST? I know you've mentioned this in the past about bringing these people, cross-marketing these people across. If you could just have a brief summary on that.
Yeah. So one of the things we need. So first of all, like when you think about what blockchain gaming means or Web3 gaming means versus Web2 gaming, there's literally no difference. World of Warcraft has a database. It has an in-game tokenized economy. That tokenized economy has items that you own, sort of like you have them in your like inventory and whatever. Like so call those NFTs, or you call them items or digital collectibles. It's the same shit. The only difference between a Web3 game and a not a Web3 game is the technology that stores the information, right? We store it on a blockchain. They store it in a database. Only difference. The problem is the Web2 people haven't figured that out yet. And they still think it's a dirty word and there's something bad about it. And really, it's honestly, it's just it's gamers came in with some excitement about tokenized economies, NFTs, probably early on, 2017, 2018, 2019, got completely wrecked as a group with a bunch of scams and bullshit because there was a lot of it. And it basically created a stigma around everything that we're creating, right? We all know it's the future. They don't know it yet. They will. By the end of this cycle, I think they will, in large numbers, be onboardable. We already are having, believe it or not, at Seed and at the highest level, the corporate level, like the C level, we're already having conversations with all the Web2 publishers and top level game studios. And they're every single one of them. I'm talking about every single one here. This is Sony, Microsoft, Sega, like everybody has somebody that works at their studio whose focus is understanding and integrating blockchain. They're doing it. They're just telling their customer base who hates it, "Oh no, we're not doing any of that." Steam, they're doing it. They say it's banned. They're investigating. They're learning about it. They have people on staff that are learning about it. So the tide is going to shift very rapidly from no to yes. Right? Epic's leading the forefront from a global standpoint, but they aren't the only one, and they won't be the only one in a year and in 2 years. So when you have a strategy of we're going to do only Web3 games, and you can only attract from the pool of people who exist in this ecosystem, which is very small. This is in the hundreds, maximum tens of thousands of people. up to a maximum of maybe 100 to 200,000 people. The numbers that like Axie got, that's people, that's individuals running, you know, like tens of thousands of simulated servers to farm that shit. It wasn't real people. It isn't real people now. All the user numbers and metrics on like Ronin, those aren't that's farms that are creating those numbers. The Web3 user base just isn't there. So what we are doing is we're creating games also for Web 2 audiences that'll be published on Steam, PlayStation, Xbox, you know, Nintendo Switch, all the platforms. We onboard into our ecosystem 7-8-figure install bases. And then when the tide shifts, we integrate. And we find creative light integrations early on. So for instance, why can't there be a Lucha Throwdown tournament for RST that exists outside the context of the game environment? So we can integrate RST into Lucha Throwdown without it being integrated into the game right away. Same thing with NFTs. So if that makes sense to everybody from the perspective of how we're doing it, but then you want to go, okay, what's the hard introduction? What's the hard acquisition? So the hard acquisition is we get an 8-figure install base, which means we have their contact information. We have ways of communicating to them. We have them captive staring at a screen that we can say anything we want on. And we can put tooltips that say, did you know that Raini Studios has a high fantasy IP available on Epic Games? Go download it. You know, here's 5,000 Lux if you download. You know, everybody who has a Lucha Throwdown account that's reached level 10 can get 5,000 free Lux in Raini Studios. You just cross promote things like that. So then they go, oh shit, I get 5,000 free doohickeys. They don't know what it is. They don't care. They go over, they download it on Epic, they install it, they start playing, they get their 5,000, they like it, and then they explore what's a digital collectible. What's an RST, and why did I get this free RST? And boom, all of a sudden, if we get an 8-figure install base at Lucha Throwdown and we can attract 1% of those people to Lords of Light, we're the most successful, you know, Web3 game ever made.
That's assuming we're not already the most successful Web3 game.
I would argue we are, but I mean, from a fake user perspective, we would be the highest. You know, we'd have the most fake users of anybody.
Nice. I mean, that one obvious question, I suppose, is that was from RA Verse, that original question. But obviously, everyone's asking when mobile, and I've noticed in our sort of Discords and Telegrams that people can sign up to be a tester. Is that just a bit of a rundown
absolutely.
on that?
Yeah, so if you have an Android or an iPhone device and would like to help with the early testing of RTL Mobile, open a support ticket on Discord. The mods will add you into a new community testing channel, and where the current plan for closed internal testing, I don't want people taking this out of context or clipping this in a way that makes it sound like it's not. So this will not be public. This will not be on Google Play. This will not be on the App Store yet. But we are hoping to open it up to closed community testing next week.
And you'll be playing, if you're testing, you'll be playing in the live servers. So it's your same account, and you're playing against other players who are on an Epic Launcher account.
Yep. Just to answer the question I just saw pop up there. So you would need to have a relatively modern device. To give you an idea, that's my test Android device, which is a Note 10. So that was a flagship phone from about 4 or 5 years ago. So you've got basically anything from there, like onwards, should be fine. If you're sitting on something that still has buttons on the screen, like physical buttons, probably isn't going to work. Because at the end of the day, like when you think of RTL, like there is a lot going on. There's a lot of cards, a lot of art, a lot of animations, background music, all that sort of stuff. We made the conscious decision that we wanted to support a relatively wide range of devices, but we've got to draw the line somewhere.
Marty, I have my dad's old center console car mobile phone from the late 90s. Will that work?
No, but it will run on your car, your new truck's heads-up display. We'll make it work on that for you. So you can be driving
Okay, it
along
actually
and, yeah,
it does it does, and I'm definitely I have the Apple whatever it is, Apple Link
yeah.
in the
Just
screen,
AirPlay it across. Yeah, it
and
should be
I'm just
sweet.
gonna fucking click that shit. And I'm gonna be playing. They're like they made a rule, no hands free, and then they gave me a screen where I can play all like I can literally have Telegram chats up in my car. So
Oh, did
anyway.
everyone see? Everyone's seen all the new Apple Vision Pro stuff? Like that might be
No.
interesting. Maybe, I don't know. Could be cool. Anyway, moving on.
Right.
So yeah, when mobile, fucking next week, motherfucker. No,
Yeah.
it's not really next week, guys. It's a closed testing phase, but we are close, and we are really really close. The team has done an incredible job. I mean, they're just absolutely smashed it. I don't think you guys realize how hard. Think about how much of the play space you guys use when you play a card game, right? When you play a match of RTL right now on your PC or your laptop, how much space that mine's 13 inches or whatever, or 15 inches or whatever it is. Like they had to get that on here and it not suck. So just consider about how monumental that is, and then think about how important this is for the growth curve of the game when we make this highly accessible game where people can win $50,000, a share of $50,000 just from logging in, and then you can do it from any phone anywhere in the world. It's a pretty big moment for this company.
100%. Yeah, it's exciting stuff. Is there a marketing plan coming, obviously, at the launch of mobile for specific countries at all?
I mean, the great thing with mobile, and again, this is my wheelhouse. Prior to joining or rejoining Raini Studios, because I was a consultant at the very start. My background for many years was in free-to-play mobile consulting. So getting games on people's devices in their hand while they're at bus stops is kind of my thing. But yeah, we'll be working closely with the existing marketing team. We'll be looking at, I mean, all the pieces are there. Like we've got localization, we've got community members assisting us with localizing to specific languages, and those languages aren't accidental. There's a reason why, if you look at the languages in the game right now, there's a reason why we chose those specific languages. So yeah, there's going to be a lot of marketing once we're on mobile. And again, the narrative just becomes so much easier because there is a subset of even gamers out there who maybe aren't aware of the Epic Game Store, but everyone has one of those. So yeah.
And big shout out, I think, to the community translators. I haven't seen the job myself, but to have that localized language basically input and run over the whole game, because I think there was issues with the AI version, but these guys have done a great job, haven't they?
Yeah, AI is great, but it's still AI. I think I think out of all the translations the community's done, I think the only mistake I saw was someone changed like paper hands to be -1, not +1 or something. But they picked it up super quick and fixed it. So yeah.
We had Indonesian, the Indonesian translation done. We had German. We had French done by the community. Did we have Spanish? Was that done?
Spanish is done. Hindi is, I think, it is in progress at the moment.
Yeah, I mean, just incredible response from the Raini community, and and there was beavers in it for him, right?
It's a great reward.
So yeah, and we don't have any beavers left, but I'll tell you what, the offer still stands. We will buy. You won't get a mint, but we'll sweep them off the market and airdrop them to you if you're interested in participating in that endeavor as we grow the localization to more languages. With a special focus on, Asian languages, Southeast Asia, Philippines, things like that. The target markets that we're looking at really tackling, because we want to have those in place, for that like kind of 90-day mark when we start tackling the RST in-game questing system.
And is the in-game questing system for RST possibly coming next season?
I'd like to see it there next season, but we have a lot of work to do. I mean, here's the thing, guys. We've just had so much work to do that everything just takes a little longer. I mean, I'd say our development cycle is faster than most people. I mean, we get things done and we get things out very, very quickly. but you can't get everything done and everything out quickly. At some point, something has to happen before the next thing happens. So yeah, we also, it's like weighing, like, is that a bigger priority than the layer 0 card migration? Do we focus on that? So that's another thing that's like in our design implementation phase of like laying out how that works, and then tackling that from a design and execution perspective. So and again, Marty and I meet, we talk nonstop, and we meet once a week in person, and well, as in person as you can get it on the other side of the globe. But then we discuss these issues. Literally, we had these exact same 5 conversations, at 6 p.m. my time, which was 3 hours ago. So we're on top of these things and analyzing, like, where do we slot that into the development cycle? Where do we slot that into the development cycle? But every single thing is like, do we pull people off of mobile to do this other thing, or do we stay focused on mobile? Do we pull people off of this Lucha to do the other thing, or do we keep Lucha moving forward? So we're just weighing things. As honestly, once mobile's done, that's going to free up a lot of development resources that have been like really chewing things up, and then it allows us to move on and start tackling those other key initiatives that we have.
Great. Marty, one of the questions, and I think you asked me to sort of ask again, but the reprint card mechanic. If you could just very quickly summarize that, maybe.
Yeah, for sure. So this is something we put out last year, obviously before the seed and acquisition. I answered it in Telegram, but I figured it was good to answer it here and also have Alex here as well while we answer it, which is basically around our collectible or NFT cards. So what that reprint policy basically states is that, one, we will never reprint a collectible card outside of the number of the edition of that card. So, for example, Chad Raini is a mythic. It has an edition of 100. There will never be more than 100 of those minted on the blockchain. And I mean, you can go look at the contracts. The contracts themselves don't allow it. But the purpose of having this in an actual, like, official policy, because obviously we could create a new card that had, a different card ID or something, and put, Chad Rainey there or something. But yeah, basically one was to confirm our commitment that as far as collectible cards are concerned, we will never mint outside of the edition numbers. The second part of it is that we will never make what we call a functional reprint of any collectible card. So, and again, this is all on Medium. I'll link it all in chat and stuff like that. But what we mean by that is basically that for any card that you have in a collectible form, whether it's Chad Rainey, Chad Doge, Stacey Rainey, Crypto Ban, whatever the card happens to be, there will never be a functionally identical version of that card created within RTLOL ever. So there will never be another card that has the name Chad Rainey. Full stop. End of discussion. We may print a card down the road which is called Chad Rainey's Battle Axe, or something along, or Campai Pandas Have a Party, or something like that. So there may be names that reference existing cards. Like we'll 100% be doing that. Like Legacy will have that sort of thing. But there will never be a reprint of a card that has the exact same cost, color, effect as a collectible card that we have made. There may be similar cards down the road. So if you, for example, if you look at Manticore from some of the earlier sets, and then you look at Chimera from Formations, those are very similar red cards. They're themed very similar. You might play them in similar decks, but they're not the same card, obviously. So yeah, we will never mint more than the edition number of any collectible card. Full stop, end of discussion. There will never be a functional reprint of any collectible card. I think, yeah, Alex, as the CEO, I'm sure you're happy to reinforce that as well.
Yeah, I guys, I'm crypto native. I come from this world. This is my world. I believe very strongly in the preservation of NFT, in what an NFT really is and what it really means. We call them digital collectibles or collectible cards or whatever you want. At the end of the day, it's an NFT, and we believe in, like, there's only one Beaver King on the blockchain, and that's going to stay that way. And that's the same thing for your cards. We're just gonna, look. We have the scale and scope of the Rainy IP is whatever we can imagine, is as wide as we can imagine. There's no reason to recover territory that's already been crossed. And as a collector, you want to know that when when you scoop up 80% of the Stacey Rainey supply
which happens.
Which may or may not have happened
Almost
last month.
Or if you buy one of the Satoshi stackers.
Yeah, you're right.
Yes.
That you have X percentage of the supply that's how much, as it is, everybody kind of understands that new expansions are fun because they introduce new cards and new mechanics and new meta, but they also dilute the total collectible points value that's being generated or being shared. So you don't want that impact, as well as Christ, you had one of the the key meta cards, and now there's you had one of the 100, now there's 1,000, and you're just fucked. So that's not going to happen. And already the beauty of having soulbound cards in the ability to purchase soulbound cards is that the players that don't have access to those powerful cards can introduce them into their deck via the soulbound mechanics. And so the game itself remains balanced forever, even as like powerful cards stay hoarded in the collections of a very select few people. So I actually had somebody mention this to me in a DM. One of the KOLs that's really big on RTL right now. They DM me and said, like their sibling or whatever is just getting started in the game, and they keep running up against these people with tons of cards. How do they get they can never get those cards because they're all bought out or whatever. And it's like, no, you can open packs and you can get them too. So you can compete at the same level from the game perspective, but as a collector, no, you can't. Just like not everybody can own the Mona Lisa. Only one person can,
Yeah, but the beauty of that, I suppose, is that the soulbounds earn now as well with the new season, which is
1/10, right? I mean, it's a pittance, but it's something.
Yeah,
and
sure.
and the thing is like, look, if you play George's numbers, I actually, we should do that, Marty. We should back test. That'd be a fun back test. We should back test George's play numbers for last month and do it as if he only had a soulbound deck. And I would bet that George would have been a top earner in collecting, in play and earn.
Theoretically, it'd be a tenth of what he earned, which is still not an insignificant number.
Right. I mean, but it's still like he'd still be his unit numbers. I mean, he still crushed everybody else. If you divided that by 10, he's still at the top. So the opportunity to compete with no collectible cards exists, but it is not gonna. It's not like there's gonna be a ton of people that are gonna get in the top 10 with no collectible cards. So the value of the cards stays strong. And here's the thing: you get on this is the thing. You get on the play and earn board, and you get like $100, right? You grind it out. You're doing like you're playing 4 or 5 games a day, and you go. I got $100, and you're like, well, how do I get $800? And then in your mind, you start doing the math. You're like, man, if I had one mythic in my deck, that adds that adds 900 points every freaking game. I would have had X percentage. Man, I would have made 8 times as much money if I just had one mythic in my deck. So then you go out and you buy that one mythic. Well, where do you get that mythic from? You get it from Seb or friggin' one of these other guys, Bluty, or somebody else who's selling it. That's where you get the mythic from. So that's how you introduce new players with a taste. And then the new players are going to figure out that there's a really simple, thing they could do to get more. And they're going to go get more. And the only place they can get it is from you all.
And while you're on that card policy, Marty, you also said, which I think some other TCGs don't do, but the cards never leave rotation. They're always valid for forever. Yep.
Yeah, sorry, that's in that same Medium article as well. So that's basically our commitment that our primary competitive format for the game will be what we call an eternal format. What does eternal mean? It means you can play any card from Genesis onwards.
No RTL 2 where we just wipe out the entire thing. The number, guys, as a gamer, I've been a gamer longer than probably most people watching this have been alive. And and the number of times I've had games rug pull me on shit like that, you better believe we're not fucking doing that. Like this game will be active in its current state as long as this company survives. So yeah, we're not like making and again, think about it from our perspective, from a business. It's a free to play game. There's no upfront value for us to sell you a new game. So like, why would we invest in a new like RTL 2? That wouldn't make any sense. So that our value proposition is to continue to grow the deck, to continue to issue more cards and create more mechanics and more meta and more excitement and more, more tournaments and more reasons for you to play, more reasons for you to spend RST inside the ecosystem. But it's certainly not to kill the game and create a new game, because we have to start all over getting you excited about that. We already have you excited about this.
And yeah, let me find the
And yes, Kieran, George is a metaphor. It's just a metaphor now for player who grinds a lot and gets a lot of money. That could be Cryptic Witcher, it could be RA-verse, it could be you, Kieran, it could be like any of the other people that made 4 figures or more, playing some dumb video game last month.
We are all George.
We are all George. Yeah.
I just posted a link for the official policies medium. Obviously, please feel free to reach out on Telegram, Discord, whatever, if you want to discuss anything about it. But I'll quickly just read a little quote. So, Eternal format, all sets released within RTLOL starting from Genesis will be tournament legal. The same deck you play today, you could choose to play in the 2036 RTLOL World Championships. That's
asterisk, assuming Raini Studios exists at that time.
Yeah.
I mean,
we cannot make the game persist beyond the life cycle of the company, but we believe we will exist that long.
Yeah. So yeah, please have a read of that. As I said, it just basically reinforces everything we just said there. Obviously, the question, Draz, that you had on Telegram was because this was written before the Seedon acquisition. But I'm hoping having both Alex and myself here confirming our commitment to this puts any concerns around that to bed.
Yeah, fantastic. That Fry's also asked, I suppose, are Mythicals always going to be edition of 100, Legendaries 200, Rares 300, and so on? Is that a standard format, or that might change or not?
100, 200, 600 is the standard. We dropped that down for Evolution specifically. Just because we didn't want to have, that was when we really were in the worst part of the bear market, and we didn't want to have too many collectibles going out there. By doing that, though, it also meant for Formation specifically, the odds of cracking Mythics and Legendaries were a little bit higher, which again, we wanted to do at that point in time. So I'm not going to say that there will always be those numbers, but I will say that our intention is to try to keep it as close as possible to those numbers. If theoretically we're in a world, 5 years down the road, everyone's forgotten about Axie, everyone's talking about RTLOL, and every time we mint a new set, there's 50,000 people smashing the mint button, then yeah, we might need to look at some of the numbers. But as it stands right now, and the current plan for both the surprise mint that we're about to announce, Legacy and Evolutions, which are the next 2 sets to be released, the numbers are identical to what you would see from, say, Genesis, Tempest, 7DS. Same as Formations, just the rares we drop down for Formations specifically.
Nice.
And also on the word on surprise mint, just to know, asterisk. Even though we're saying surprise mint, guys, it'll never be a link that you have to go click really quick. It'll be surprise, we did this thing, and it will launch on this date, and here's the details, and get it from an official channel. So just know, guys, it's not ever going to be an actual surprise.
Yeah. And there is one coming up. Oh, is that the promo pack? Fantastic.
I think just screen sharing this probably answers half of the questions you were about to ask.
How much are they? 1,000 RST. And when, I suppose, 19 hours. Are there wallet caps at all introduced, Marty?
At this stage, there's a limit of 10 per wallet for the first hour.
Okay. And number of packs overall?
1,000.
Literally 1,000. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Cool.
So there was actually a bunch of people today on Twitter, and I wanted to be like, I can tell you the answer. There was a bunch of people on today, a bunch of pandas saying, where can I get this Camp High Pandas card? Yes. Where can I get it? How do I get this Pandas card?
It's a good
Boom.
card,
So, yeah.
Campo.
Right at the promo mint.
So obviously promo cards we've done for a long time. What this mint basically is us bundling up most of the leftover promo cards that we just haven't given out through tournaments, prizes, other incentives, popping them into packs, and off we go. There is, I believe the number was 1,170 packs total. So 1,000 will be available for general sale. The other 170 we're holding back for tournament prizes and promotional usage. So they'll all get out there eventually, but yeah, this is most of the cards you see here on screen. Probably the interesting ones is Arcade Machine, Chain Zoku, and Wood Dragon. This is the first chance a lot of people have had to have a solid crack at these cards, as well as some of the earlier cards. So, Year of the Rabbit was the very first promo card. We dropped that to celebrate Lunar New Year last year. Yeah, it was just last year. God, all this is within a year. God, that's crazy. So Year of the Rabbit, the Kampai Pandas promo card is there. The Chubby Aliens, Beam Me Up, Chad Doge, which goes really well with Chain Zoku. Yeah, a lot of Crypto Exchange, which is, I know, Huncho's favorite card. Probably unique in all TCGs that you have a card that literally changes what it does based on something in the real world. Maybe that's stupid. Maybe it's fun. I don't know. It was funny at the time, so we did it. But yeah, this is basically a chance, and I will make sure that before the mint goes live tomorrow, all of the numbers are completely public about this set. So obviously you can see here the cards in this set are either legendary or rare. There are no mythic promo cards we've made at this stage. I can tell you your odds are approximately 1 legendary in every 2 packs.
We should make a seed mythic promo card.
Yeah.
Yes.
Make a beaver or something.
That'd be
Yeah.
hilarious.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Most definitely.
The Beaver King.
Hot card.
Yep.
Definitely.
So yeah, that goes on mint exclusively to the RST storefront at 9 a.m. tomorrow Sydney time, which is just under 20 hours from now.
Sweet.
But yeah, again, all those links will be posted on Discord, Telegram, Twitter. You can go to rtll.com and the link is there for the RST storefront. So yeah, just make sure you go into the right sites, obviously. But yeah,
guys, hold on. I want to point something else out too. Tokenomics, okay? Our new RST storefront tokenomics. This is 1 million RST. It's going to come out of circulation. So yeah, it might be in your wallet. It's on the exchange. It's on BeamSwap or Uniswap. Someone's got to go buy it or take it from their wallet. They have to spend it in the store, right? That's $100,000. 10,000 of it goes back to you guys for this month's rewards. $30,000 of worth of RST, 300,000 comes out of circulation for the next at least 10 years and goes and replenishes year 11, and then the rest is revenue for the company. So like, think about that. This is a whole new ball game where RST is the only way to mint cards. And so, and we take those tokens and we stick them in our treasury, which already has a ton of tokens. So effectively, those are in a way not circulating the same way they were when they were on the exchange or in your wallet. So this is a big change. And when you think about this promo, and then even bigger is Legacy coming, that's going to be a huge amount of token mechanics happening. So very, very cool. Yeah, somebody's got some sound in the background for sure, guys. Somebody's got like scratching.
I think that's you, Draz.
Is it? Okay.
Yeah, just yeah. Anyway, so yeah, promo packs go on sale tomorrow. So good luck for everyone with those. Like I said, for a lot of people, first chance to have a crack at some of those collectible cards, which is really cool. And then yeah, the next set for RTLOL, as we've announced previously, is called Legacy. We haven't revealed too many details around that just yet. There'll be a lot more details dropping very, very soon. Maybe Alex and I will drop the details of those in person together. Who knows? But yeah, so very, very soon we'll have more details around what's happening with the Legacy expansion. But yeah, the stuff we're planning for this is pretty stupid. It started out as a small set. It's grown a little bit. The mechanics have gone a little bit wacky. There's just a lot of cool shit in this set that I think people are going to be really excited for.
Fantastic. Thanks, guys. Usual sort of questions, I suppose. When centralized exchange, or is a centralized exchange important at this point in time, or at some future time?
We are in very active conversations with multiple centralized exchanges. It's not necessarily a critical or important step for the company, but it is something that we are pursuing. And if we find the right opportunity, we're not going to dump this thing on some like we get the like bullshit third tier exchanges constantly wanting to list us. We say no. We're looking for a good quality opportunity, something that we feel comfortable recommending to our user base as a nice off ramp or accessibility option. But no, I think right now with the liquidity pools that are available on BeamSwap and Trader Joe's and Uniswap, pretty much everybody has the access they need at the price point that they need to buy and sell RST. So there's really no critical business need for it. There are some things we're thinking about for the future, like as we go into Southeast Asia and market the RST storefront, having an easily accessible off-ramping option for those people is for those customers is pretty important. That's simple. So obviously everybody playing now is somewhat crypto native. As we onboard Web 2 users, we do need a little bit more ease of use, which exchanges do offer that. So it's something we're actively pursuing, but it's not something that we have a lot of urgency around.
Okay, fantastic. We've got the mobile done. Just general sort of information, I suppose, about Rocket. Do you want to mention anything about Rocket Monsters or Seedon, or just leave that all out for now?
We can leave that out. I think everybody knows at this point who Seedon is. I would imagine we're the parent company for Raini Studios. Rocket Monsters is just had a mint on BeamSwap that's ongoing. So anybody that wants to pick up a Rocket Monsters, they're 50 USDC. People are sweeping them. They're the second. Actually, that's kind of fun. So Seedon ecosystem is number 1 and number 2 NFTs on all of. There you go, right there. The number 1 and number
marketplace
2 by volume. So we are literally the top 2, and so when I'm like, we're coming for the number 1 spot, it's literally like coming for myself. But so anyway, we're coming for the number 1 spot, Rainy. So yeah, Raini Studios is the number 1 NFT by a mile on Beam. Rocket Monsters after 1 day is number 2, and will continue to climb. I think honestly, I wouldn't be surprised when Rocket Monsters is in full swing if we're going neck and neck, like battling with everybody else. And I hope that a bunch of great collections come and a lot of volume comes, because that'll just lift up the top collections, which is us. So yeah, can't hurt. But yeah, no. Again, I say this all the time when people ask me like, what should we do to get involved in Seedon or in any of this? And it's just explore our ecosystem. Come check out Seedon's Discord. This is something I want to do a call to action here. Everybody go to the Seedon Discord and join the Engage, the Beaver Brigade. Okay. What you do is you literally you're already retweeting and liking all the shit that we put out anyway. We give away points. This past weekend, Fogel, the head of community for all of the Seedon ecosystem, gave away a create pass, which is like, what are those? Like $1,500 or $2,000 or something. Gave away a
0.3 ETH.
What? 0.3
0.29 ETH floor.
$1,000 or something. Yep. So gave away one of those. Gave away 3 Rocket Monsters. Like you know what I mean. So we're giving away real prizes, like big money every week in there, and it's literally just for participating, for liking shit, commenting, retweeting. So join that. Most of it's Rainy. Like a third of it or more is Rainy shit you'd be retweeting already, which you're already doing. So even our Discord's a game, guys, that you can win. But yeah, just explore. Everything here is free to play. Everything. So when Rocket Monsters come out, that's free to play. Another opportunity for people who need a break from playing a card game to go shoot around for 5-10 minutes, waiting for their next match to start, jump back in there and earn on both sides. And
You know,
then,
there's
and
going
then
to be some
evolving for
sick
it.
players. There's going to be some sick players who on one screen have Rocket Monsters, on the second screen have RT LOL, and are
Fuck yeah,
trying to
baby.
multitask between the two.
Yeah, you know what? Hey, if everybody, you guys want to have 90 cell phones up on the thing, and you're playing all the different games at the same time, knock yourselves out, man.
That's going to be pretty hard, I think.
Get that
Jesus.
digital paper.
You can grab the
Yes.
phones off Axie's eBay account, I reckon.
Just going down through the chat online here, Marty. Maybe down to Misen, I suppose. I mean, I think you've probably answered. Any plans to add Battle Pass quests to P2E? I think that's coming, and that's the RST type stuff.
Yep.
He enjoys building different colored decks around the quest, but he doesn't really get a lot from it game-wise, he's saying. That's one thing. Leftover Rainbows and Unicorns, they're all snapshot at the end of January, and they're sitting on people's accounts now, waiting for this drop when it comes.
Yeah, so one of the key goals of Legacy, and it's where the name basically comes from, this is an opportunity for us to basically close out any Legacy rewards that we owe as a studio. So any remaining rainbows or unicorns will basically all get used for the Legacy set. It will also get used for anyone who has whether like golden chroma NFTs, like basically anything like that you are owed from like pre-acquisition. Will basically the legacy set will sort that out for you basically, and yeah, details will come soon around how exactly that will work.
Marty, have we ever? I don't want to jump the gun here, but have we ever revealed the economics of this drop yet?
With the
price points and things like that. Like people have heard me talking about this stuff from a perspective point in the past.
They've heard us talk theoretically. I don't think they've heard us actually.
Are we prepared? Is that something we're prepared to talk about?
As long as we're not locking ourselves into specific numbers just yet, sure.
Right. Okay. So everybody who's kind of followed really closely me talking on AMAs and spaces and different things, particularly around Raini Studios, is that I personally believe in the like Pokemon model, right? Which is it's a low dollar price, and you rip packs, you collect them. My kids love to do it. They want to rip packs constantly. And Raini Studios has always had a really high dollar value pack, which grants you really, really, really incredibly high rates of rare cards, right? It's basically guaranteed to be all rares. And so I believed that we should move back to the model of low dollar, low rate of rarity, low percentage gain, so that the numerics work out to be the same on collections. And that's what we're introducing, that new model or that old model or that new model, whatever you want to call it. We're introducing that for Legacy. So Legacy will be the same $90 or $90 to $100 has been kind of the pack price for Raini, roughly, give or take. Markets fluctuate that pretty dramatically, but give or take, that's been the target, around $100 for a pack. That's going to drop. You might I'm not committing to numbers here, but it might be 10 packs or 5 packs that you can open for that same $100. So that's like, maybe it's 100 beam instead of 1,000 beam for the pack. We're not saying those are the numbers, but I'm saying that from a principle standpoint, it's the idea of you'll be able to, on whatever budget you have, rip a lot more packs. And that gives you that sense of the collectability and the fun of card collecting. That's the core of it, I think, that we're missing in Raini, and we have been. And it also, again, we've talked about this accessibility thing. The more accessible we can make this, because if you're a whale, right? Like I'm going to be honest, I'm a whale. Right? I can come in and buy $10,000 of something I'm interested in, and it doesn't like impact me that much. You know, like I don't think twice about it. I'll invest that. If I lose it, I lose it. But you know, but somebody else might go, I can't afford $100, so that this game is not for me. But I could afford $20 or, you know, or something. Like there's a budget that people have, that price point. And just because they don't get a guaranteed mythic or whatever, they don't care. They want to just be participating and open that pack, get a few collectibles. Maybe they're all commons or uncommons, and they can start building their collectible deck. And again, start earning those little bits to buy more and more and more and get more deep into the ecosystem. So we're creating that. We're moving more and more towards that accessibility model that will onboard players. And then it will bring that vibrancy of pack opening joy to people. So there won't be drops that have only 1,000 packs anymore. There'll be way more packs available in the drops.
Probably one of the things that we can announce with Legacy. So Legacy, in terms of it being its normal, like say Soulbound set, will be somewhere between say a 7 Deadly Sins and a Formations in terms of the set size. For the collectible packs for Legacy, not only will you have the ability to crack any of the Legacy cards, we're also going to include all of the commons and uncommons that we didn't mint back when we did Formations and Tempest. So after Legacy will be the first time that you could actually have a full collectible collection of every single RTLOL card, with the exception of base cards, because they're just there basically to get new players up and running and make sure there's something in the deck editor they can use. So yeah, because of that, that's one of the reasons why Legacy will be one of the biggest sets we've ever. I mean, by far, it'll be the biggest set we've ever minted. It will dwarf Genesis in that regard. But yeah, as Alex mentioned, the pack price will come down drastically. We're also looking, so there'll still be Super Chat bundles, but there will also be a new higher tier of bundle sitting above that. In the same way that if you collect, you know, physical cards, there you go. There's some Digimon, there's some Lucha Throwdown, there's some, you know, Pokemon, stuff like that. So if you're obviously collecting physical cards, there's sort of 3 tiers. You buy either booster packs, which are these. You buy booster boxes, which is usually 24 to 36 packs, or you buy cases, which is usually 6 to 8 booster boxes. So it basically means the whales will still have their, you know, crazy super chat bundles. They'll mint out within seconds. You guys know as well as I do that's going to happen. The difference is now those whales will be opening a lot more cards, a lot of which will be in the common and uncommon tiers. But yeah, there'll be just more packs accessible to everyone. And the dream would be that someone could drop, you know, again, not committing to any numbers at this stage, but there is a theoretical world where someone drops $10 on a legacy pack and cracks open one of the mythics from that set. Which, you know, imagine as a starting out collector, maybe a free-to-play player, they've just got their rewards for, say, March or April, you know, and they're like, oh, I've got enough here to grab myself 1 pack of Legacy, and bang, out comes one of the mythics.
Yeah, I mean, it's the dream. It's the dream of every collector, right? I will never. This makes so much sense to me, guys, because, you know, my kids do not play Pokemon. I actually don't think I know the rules, and my kids have never once asked to learn the rules. They've got binders you slide the card in, they go to school, they trade like crazy with their friends, right? They got the Pokemon like Squishmallows and Legos and friggin' they love the shit, right? My son, and they're always asking me, Dad, how much is this one worth? Dad, how much is, and I go to TCG Trader on my phone and I look it up and I go, oh, that one's $6. That one's $3.90, man. That's cool. And you know, nothing ever happens of it. They just go and trade it off to their friend for one they like. Except when my son cracked the Charizard EX from the last expansion, and he goes, I think this one's really rare. I look it up. It's $120. This one card. So we go down to the local shop, right? And I call the guy in advance, and I'm like, hey man, you know, do you guys buy cards? He goes, what do you have? I go, Charizard And he goes, "Ooh, that's the most rare card in that expansion. We would love it. What do you say we give you $70 for it?" And I'm like, it was store credit, $70 store credit. I'm like, fuck yeah. All right, get in the car, Ezra. Get in the car. We're going. So we drive down to the shop. And what does my son do? He goes ham. He's like, give me that booster pack. Give me that promo pack. I want 6 of those. I want 4. Kid had a stack of fucking loot this high. I've never seen the kid's face light up so much. All because he ripped 1 pack. That feeling that my son had right there has to exist in RT Law. It has to. It is the difference between meteoric success and where we are now, which is successful, but we want to be meteoric success. And when that person, just like Marty's saying, that comes in, that hears about us, I don't know, I never heard of this thing. There's some trading card game on Epic. Let me click on it. They click on it and they go, I'll buy a pack, or I start playing free. I get my theme deck. And then we airdrop them and they got 112 RST. Like, who gives a fuck? It's like nothing, right? So is that even worth swapping? And then so they go and they swap it. They go, hey, I could with my 112, I can get one of these packs. And they click on that and they get a pack and they pull a mythic out of it and they look online and the mythic's worth selling for $2,000. That's the fucking dream, right? You're like, holy shit. Like that's, the guy that was shaking with his hand when he got the Lord of the Rings. You know what card I'm talking about?
The 1 of 1 that Post Malone bought. Yeah.
Yeah. The 1 of 1. And he, in the video, he's like, oh my God. And he ends up selling it for $2 million. Like that's the dream of all collectors. We have to have that. And the only way you get that is when the normie, when the average person, everybody can crack 1 pack and fucking win big. And that's what we're introducing. And it starts with Legacy. I'm super excited for it because it's that tingle you get in your arms. And you know what? All the whales, they're cracking for the free mythics and all that shit. But guess what? Everybody's a child on the inside. They're cracking because cracking packs fucking rocks. And they will love it just as much. How much better than cracking? What's in it? 14 or it's 20 for the price of 15, right? Right now.
Supercharge, yeah. So
the only thing better than cracking 20 packs in a row is cracking a fucking 100 packs in a row. Like that's literally the only thing better. So like it's just going to be so awesome. I really think it's going to take the whole excitement around drops to another level.
Yeah. The pandas were cracking, 60, 70 packs online in the Discord the other day. They're having a great time.
Right. It's fucking awesome.
They're all just screen sharing. Just everyone's like taking turns, just like cracking packs. And it was great.
Picking up Chad's and Stacey's, but soulbound type versions, but still excellent to,
but
everyone's excited.
It doesn't matter. No one gives a shit about the cards, right? Like I said, my kids have literally thousands and thousands of Pokemon cards. No one fucking plays. It's not like it doesn't matter. They're like, this one has 51 life. Like this one does 120 damage with a claw. I don't even know what that means. They're just excited because it's the numbers bigger. Like it doesn't make any difference. It's just the excitement of collecting. It's the excitement of getting a bunch of shit. Now, keep in mind, there's going to be a flood of commons on the market, and they're all going to be worth nothing. Like there's not going to be a market for every digital collectible, but there still will be the same number of mythics and the same number of legendaries and the same number of rares. And that creates the same market for those cards. Just because there's a glut of BS on the bottom tier doesn't make the value of the top tier lower.
Mm-hmm. Still cool cards, though. I mean, there's a lot of common and uncommon cards that are pretty cool.
Yep.
Nice to play with. Great to have in the collection.
One little thing I'll drop about Legacy. There is more than 2 mythics in the Legacy set. So
that means there's at least 3
or 2.5. We're going to just chop one in half and
somebody gets a half a card. It's just like, it's like Quantum Rug, but it's not all the rug.
Yeah. You got to collect both halves of it to play
it's
it.
The seed and rug. It's just a C with like half a rug. Yeah. It's not even the full. Maybe Seedon actually is like a circular throw rug logo. Imagine that. It's like a circle. Anyway, side note.
Like I said, Legacy is a special set. There's things we're doing in terms of set composition, set design, which will be very unique to Legacy. For a bunch of reasons, as we've said, because we've got to handle rewards with it. We're going to have a lot more in terms of number of packs for collectibles, because of the fact that formations and Tempest will be in there as well. So yeah, there'll be there's even some other stuff that we haven't announced yet. Do we want to announce that yet, Alex? I'm not sure.
Well, I don't even know what we're talking about.
Oh, cool. I'll just announce it then, and then you can learn at the same time. Cool. So with the Legacy set, like I said, it'll be a 7DS to formations size of set. There will be more than 2 mythics. There'll be the commons and uncommons from formations and Tempest. And in Legacy packs, there will be an incredibly small chance of cracking any card from the history of RTLOL. There is a theoretical chance that you open a Legacy pack, and as we said, these packs will be cheaper than the current cost of packs. You could open a pack that contains a Chad Raini.
How does that work if they haven't all been released? Obviously, then the 100 Chad Rainis aren't out there.
There are some packs that we've still got within one of the studio's treasury wallets that we've had set aside for promotional use, for tournament prizes, stuff like that.
Splitting them out and put them in these.
So some of those cards will be spread out across some Legacy packs.
It's like
there won't be many of them. This will be like hitting. This will literally be like hitting the lottery in terms of odds.
So we actually did talk about. I did know about this. We talked about it in the context of Willy Wonka and the Chocolate Factory. This is the golden ticket on 4 or 5 bars. So your chance at a mythic is whatever it is it 2% or 0.2% or whatever the number is. I don't know. I'm not saying that's the number. I'm saying it's something like that. And then, but there's still going to be there's always hundreds of mythics, right? There's hundreds of them. There's 4 or 5 golden tickets, whatever the number is. But this is statistically tiny compared to even pulling a mythic. But you're talking about something that is we're pulling out of the treasury for a little fun. This was one of Marty's really, really solid ideas for this. And what it is, think about what Legacy means. Legacy is a look back at the legacy of Lords of Light from the moment it was from Lords of Light and from Raini Studios from the moment it was created. This started as a meme coin ages ago, and then became a game studio, and then it became a reputable game studio, and then it became the first Web3 game released on Epic, and really cemented itself as in the history of Web3 as being something truly great. And then Seedon took over, and it has become something even greater, right? So there's this whole legacy, right, which includes good things and bad things, good times and bad times. And this is this set is an homage to all of that. It takes care of all of the legacy programs and rewards over the years, which were honestly many of which were just factors of the evolution of the company of it's this, and now it's this, and now it's this, and now it's this. And sometimes those things stack on top of one another and kind of get jumbled, which is why I made the decision to strip it all away. And oftentimes a hard decision to say hey, we're not going to do that anymore. No, we're not going to do Mystic Shards or whatever the fuck it is, because it doesn't make any sense. So there comes a time when you have to strip away the legacy, but you can honor it. And that's what we're doing here is we're honoring what people are owed in one way. We're giving them something that's valuable in the context of what Raini is today, in exchange for some nonsensical thing that wouldn't have been valuable before, that they didn't get. And then things like rainbows and unicorns, which just don't make sense and are too complicated to explain to a new user. So we sunset those programs, but we allow them to be honored in the set. And that includes, this case, the opportunity to even get the legacy of the greatest cards that existed in the history of the game.
That's sweet. And as a community person, Alex, so thanks very much, mate, for honoring that. Obviously, new people taking over really have to do a lot of that sort of stuff, but you really tried very hard to, fulfill the promises of the the people that were there before you. So I really appreciate that. Thanks, mate.
And I mean, it's important to be said. Chris and JJ, which a lot of new people may not even recognize the names. Artkin and Mind Spheres. So that's Chris and JJ, the people who founded the company and ran it for 3 years before I came along. They are still involved in this company in a way. Their legacy lives on with the company. The foundation that they built lives on, and we continue to talk to them on a regular basis. They're still part of the Raini Studios family and ecosystem. And while they're not here, on a team basis or a day-to-day basis, they're still important, and they still did a lot of things. You guys got $250,000 because we came in and put the infrastructure in place, but that system wasn't built by us. We didn't create the RST token. We didn't launch the Raini token way back when. We didn't create the game. They did. So there's a lot of kudos that deserve to go that way in the history of Raini. So the legacy, again, the legacy of any company is good and bad, and we're honoring both in the legacy set.
Thank you very much. That's awesome.
Meepo, when estimated release? More details coming soon.
Yeah. Theoretically, if we were all at GDC together with the film crew, maybe that would be when we'd announce stuff about that. Who knows?
I don't know.
Yeah.
That doesn't seem logical.
No, not at all. Why would I fly to the other side of the planet just for? Actually, no. Carlos is going to bring some good
beer,
tequila,
Marty.
So...
You're flying to San Francisco to drink beer. Let's be honest.
If I'm flying to the other side of the country, we're drinking something harder than beer. But yeah,
let's be real with these people, okay? You're flying so that we can have some drinks.
Yeah,
and maybe like do some game shit. I don't know.
Awesome.
Oh, what else do we have?
I don't know if you want to go through everything, but I think the rental system for cards, is that shelved for now or altogether?
So again, we have a partnership with holy shit, Arcade to Earn.
Arcade to Earn.
Yeah, you can see right there. There's an arcade promo card available in this week's mint. You can own one. So our partnership with Arcade to Earn, they have a really cool tool called the it's like late for me. So they have a really cool tool called the mission pools. Jesus, that was like escaping me. So mission pools are basically a vehicle which we can employ in order to create a simple, a similar version to card rentals. The infrastructure for a card rental system doesn't exist at Raini Studios, and it is not currently on our dev cycle to build one. So will it never exist? I'm not saying that. We may decide in 30 days that we really want one and we start building it. But as it stands right now, 3 hours ago or 4 hours now ago, when Marty and I had a meeting, that didn't come up. So if you're wondering, is this something that I can expect? I wouldn't hold my breath for it. We will spend some time over the next month or so really interfacing with the arcade guys to leverage their mission pools and figure out how we can create the proper functions around that. So that the idea around the mission pool, for those of you who aren't familiar with Arcade to Earn, is there's 3 stakeholders in a ecosystem. There's like kind of an investor, somebody who wants to invest money into the ecosystem in the form of their token. There's a card owner or a collector who can invest cards or NFTs, an asset holder that can invest NFTs into the mission pool. And then there's operators, and those are players who could utilize those resources. So those 3 ecosystem participants come together in a mission pool, and the NFT owner can donate essentially through their smart contracts or the mission pools, the cards to the other people, and those people can play or operate those cards. And when they win or they earn rewards using them, then it comes back to the pool, and that is split between the 3 ecosystem participants, with essentially that investor person with the arcade token being kind of the financier of the whole operation. So they're very interesting. It's a very game centric DeFi tool, and we want to employ it or make it available at scale for the community at Raini, so that those people that have bigger collections than they can realistically play can utilize those to add yield, if you will, in some format, and to then grant other players who don't have collectible cards or the resources to get a deck full of collectible cards could utilize them or operate them in the arcade lingo, and in themselves increase their yield.
Sweet. That sounds excellent. But again, whenever time allows for that to happen, sensibly. What else we got? That was from Daniel Voltier.
Rainy, hold on. Just a quick thing. Rainy RT lol person. We answered that question on mobile.
That's Zoomva from Telegram.
Yeah, so we answered that question and you came in late. So it's the answer's soon. And just kidding. Next week, the test closed testing that's available to the community, and just open a support ticket on Discord if you want to participate.
Yep, sweet. Just going through these questions here.
Is he the one that he's asked that question every day and I've said yes? Is there an update? So, yeah. And I say yes and then just ignore the rest of the questions?
Yeah, he's trying to.
In one of the private chats, I'm not quite as polite, but yeah, that's pretty much him.
It's like, is there an update? Yep, I got an update.
Yeah,
I did. I mean, it's always true. I did get I know exactly what's going on. Marty told me.
I mean, Meta Puppet's still holding my Quantum Rug from 3 years ago. I'll be able to use it in Legacy. I mean, you'll be able to use Quantum Rug forever.
Yeah, so, we covered that in the topic about company policy. It's an eternal game. So,
yeah. I mean, just quickly looking through there, I think most things are covered pretty well everywhere.
Yeah.
Lucky prize draws. Was there something going on there with something, Marty?
Yep, I can quickly bang that out. So that was from the arcade promotion we did last month with our friends at with obviously the arcade and Blue Mint as well. So we held a series of tournaments with some pretty crazy prize pools actually for those. But in addition to that, we had some lucky door prizes as well, which was 2 Seed and Create passes and 2 of the Seed and Keystone NFTs.
Which, by the way, at the time were mints, but then we minted out. So now I'm going to buy those. I'm going to sweep the market, and you get the whichever 2 I buy.
Yep.
Fantastic.
If you're not aware of all the stuff in the Seed and ecosystem, definitely jump in their Discord and read about it. These are some of the hottest NFTs at the moment. And yeah, definitely a good time to be grabbing them with all the other stuff that's coming up as well, with like Evolving Forest and all that as well.
Yeah, definitely.
Let me share my screen. This probably with screen sharing is probably just going to be a mess, but yeah. So basically, everyone. Yeah. So every event, there was 3 events, and for everyone you participated in, you got an entry in the draw. So I'll scroll down slowly here. People go back and they can screen cap
on the list.
See all the names. Yep. But yeah, so we'll start with the.
Thank you, Walton team, for this win. I won. I won all 4. Oh my god, this is amazing.
How did that
happen? We'll start with one of the Create passes.
I can't believe it, guys. Thank you so much. Yeah. So I'll answer while you're doing this. I'll answer. So Jason, we covered leftover rainbows and unicorns are going to be a reward prize in Legacy.
Mal.
Create pass to Malvolio.
Wow.
Cool. So that's the first Create pass. So second one. Mal, one of the
Marty,
original OGs. Yep. Yeah, I'll get.
Yeah. I can do it tomorrow.
Oh,
one of the mods.
Oh.
Hey, well done. What was that prize?
That was a Create pass.
A Create passes again? Yeah, fantastic.
Yep. So now the next 2 are the
Create passes get a 1,500 RST airdrop each coming soon. Can you believe that? 1,500 RST just for holding a Create Pass. That's insane. That means those people just won. Not only did they win the Create Pass, they literally won $150 in RST also.
Yeah, fantastic.
Plus all the other stuff that's coming that's been announced, or the stuff that hasn't been announced yet as well.
Yeah.
All right,
Lito,
so this is the
I'm
first.
going to be eating good. Yeah, he is.
Yeah.
He gets like
All right.
1 billion RST.
Just missed him. Then actually, he was the next one down.
Oh God, if he wins, he's disqualified. Just kidding. Just kidding. We love you, Lito.
Nido?
Nice.
Nito?
That's a beaver, right?
That's a beaver. Nice.
I have to buy that one from the open market. Look at that buy pressure, guys, coming right now. Big whale coming into sweep 2. I'm going to answer Meepo on the esports side. Is something planned for this year? Do you mean besides the $50,000 tournament this month, or the $250,000 monthly tournament, or what are we talking about? What about the Saturday tournament for $5,000? Or should or do you mean the one on April 9th that's for like another $5,000? Which one do
we haven't announced April yet.
Oh, my bad. So anyway, the point being, we do. This is all esports, and it's legitimately bigger prize pools. I think consistently than any game on the planet. Is that a fair? Maybe not quite that, but
in terms of accessibility,
is Fortnite giving out those kind of prize pools on this consistently?
Maybe not this consistently.
They have once a year. They do $1 million or something, right? But I mean,
what was the latest CS:GO major prize pool?
It's once a year, right? And we do that every quarter. We do $1 million every quarter. Right?
So
am I wrong?
Yeah. So they do 1.25 a year. So
so we do more. Than
I think League of Legends, the World Championship, I think it's like 5 million to the winning team, but they also get a skin and they get all the revenue from that skin as well.
Right.
So
having
said that,
we're up there.
Yeah.
Top 10. I think it's probably safe to say we're the top 10 in terms of like prize pools for all of esports and on the planet. It's probably a safe bet.
And in terms of just top Web3 though, surely.
It's got to be. I think it's got to be the top Web3 at this point.
Like I said, actually, there was a tweet I saw recently from one of the Web3 GameFi influencers that actually listed out a bunch of games and they did estimated player counts and stuff like that. You probably saw it.
I did.
And I didn't comment on it, but I just looked at it and I'm like, if you took all of these games and put all the players together, it's mice nuts compared to what we have playing every single day. Like I said, that's the reason why we don't release our numbers publicly, because we don't need to. That's as simple as it gets. Unless you're at the front of the race, the view never changes. And hopefully we have lots more Web3 games coming up. There's a lot of cool games I'm seeing. They've been in development around just as long as we have, and they're starting to hit open alphas and open betas and stuff like that. And that's great to see. I hope they survive. I hope they do really well. We're coming up on the 1-year anniversary of our announcement that we're going to be launching on the Epic Game Store. We've been live on Epic now, fully launched for almost a year. That was, I think, July last year, I want to say, Draz, roughly. June, July. In that time, we've released Tempest, we've released Formations, we're about to release Legacy. We're up to season 3 of our Battle Pass. We have mobile coming soon. There's been balance updates. There's been a World Championship with 13 events over a calendar month, crowning Cryptic Witcher as our, basically undefeated world champion. And like we said at the top of the call, we're just getting started.
Maybe Meepo wants to know about that. Are we planning a world championship?
Yeah, I'm starting to work out details around that. Date TBA, but will most likely be similar timing to what we did last year. So last year was October. Because it won't be the same time because I stupidly did it when I was I had a month where I'm just away at conferences and all this stuff last year, and then we held the World Championships during it. So I won't be making that mistake again. But yeah, the World Championships.
I know you mentioned to me the Avalanche annual
AVAX
convention.
Yeah. I can 100% guarantee you that the World Championships this year will be bigger than what we did in 2023. There'll be, hopefully, I mean, we're still early stages, but more events, more prize pool, more players. Like I said, it is our big annual celebration of RT LoL, where we get to basically bring together the best TCG players around the world and watch them compete for tens of thousands of dollars in cash and prizes, on top of the hundreds of thousands of dollars that we're already giving out every month as well. So
I think it's funny though that people that play RTLL haven't realized yet that they're professional esports players.
Yeah, like I said, for someone like George, go ask the average Twitch streamer what they made last month, and then compare that to what you made. I'm assuming sitting on a beach in Greece with his laptop, just grinding it out. If you're gonna play from Greece,
sipping Mai Tais from the beach.
Yeah.
He's got one of those things he eats.
Mobile. Imagine when it goes mobile. Jesus, people are going to be grinding this shit everywhere. Holy crap!
Yeah, I remember when Pokemon Go was huge. There was like this photo that went viral of like an older guy in Japan on his bike, and he had like 20 phones like just strapped to the front of it, so you could ride around and just play like Pokemon Go on 20 phones. Yeah, I'm sure we're going to see some interesting things once the mobile build gets out there.
Yeah, I mean, I'm just excited. Every time rewards go out, I go, why didn't I play more? By the way, guys, I have not won a single RST token from the game. So like but you watch it and it's just like makes me so fucking happy to see people playing our games, like having fun doing it, and then making like, I don't know, I don't know. I'm not going to say life-changing money. I mean, it may very well be life-changing money for some people, but it's certainly not nothing. It's reasonably significant for a lot of people. And I would imagine for a few, it's life-changing. And that's really fucking cool. It's really cool. And it's our goal at Seedon to be able to create an ecosystem that fosters this type of game, this type of gameplay across a variety of different styles of games. So you might, TCGs are not for everybody. And that may be an impediment when we go, what the hell's wrong with you for not playing RTLOL? We just gave out $250,000 to these chads. And you're like, well, I don't get these things. They don't make sense to me. I don't like them. Whatever. Well, Seedon's goal is to have an RTLOL experience available for third-person shooters, for idle category games, for horror category games. We've got those all in the works right now for fighting games. So those are all in process. That those experiences and opportunities for fun and to enjoy and get real rewards. And it introduces another mechanic in Rocket Monsters, which is real risk. You get shot and killed while holding RM tokens, and you lose them. They fall and they can be looted off your corpse. So this is like a different level of stake and of gameplay and of fun and of experience, and we just can't wait to bring more of it to you guys. So thank you for participating with us, being on this ride with us, and we can't wait for the next year, 2 years, 5 years, 10 years.
That's pretty well all the questions except for that very last one there. What's the cheapest way to buy RST?
Beam swap.
Beam swap, yep. Like Alex said, it's available on three chains, ETH, Beam, and AVAX. So
yep. I regularly trade RST on, well, I don't regularly trade RST, but I regularly have to transact RST on the Beam chain, and it's typically between 0.1 and 0.2 Beam in order to make a swap on Beam Swap, which is roughly a half of a penny to 1 penny for the trade, which is an extraordinarily low and extraordinarily fast. So definitely Beam Swap. Typically, it has a gigantic LP too. It's something like $7 or $8 million LP. So you can transact pretty much any size you want, from $1, or 50 cents, all the way up to probably $100,000 with relatively low impact to the price.
Yeah. All right. That's it, guys. I think from questions. X is just asking when will they get our prize for the tournament series and Wheel of Fortune. prizes?
Uh,
Alcatraz?
Soon, very soon.
Cool.
I need that
Maybe
gear
we'll-
font gear as well.
That's it, guys. I think.
Cool.
Almost
Okay.
Awesome.
Literally 2 hours.
Yeah. To the nose, right? Ticking up 15 seconds from.
Bang
Hey,
on.
Jazz, thanks again for hosting these. Always great. Marty, thank you for everything that you do for Raini Studios and the RTL community. I don't think this community really, I think they do understand a little bit. I don't think they quite understand how lucky they are to have you as the guy leading the charge here. So thank you.
100%.
Anytime.
Well done.
Happy to do it. Cool. Oh, have a good evening, morning, whatever it is. And yeah, I guess, good luck everyone in the March Madness promotion. $50,000 up for grabs there just by playing a free-to-play game.
Yeah, sweet.
And Chain Zoku this weekend.
And Big Chain Zoku this weekend. And something apparently in April too.
There's always something.
All right. Have a good day, everyone.